Шановні колеги, вітаю вас! Це Надія Макаренко і туристичний оператор Тревел Дизайнер. Сьогодні у нас фантастична зустріч. Сьогодні ми будемо говорити про чудові заклади розміщення від мережі, яка називається Ker&Downey, і це Ботсвана. Сьогодні з нами пан Волтер, і він презентує нам сьогодні ці чудові заклади. Я передаю йому слово, але зважайте, що презентація буде англійською мовою, і я думаю, що це буде дуже плідний і цікавий матеріал. Тому переходимо на англійську. Thank you, Walter, for joining us today. It's really a pleasure, and we are glad to hear more about your properties.
All right, good day, everybody. My name is Walter Smith. I'm from Ker&Downey, Botswana. I live and work in Maun, which is just south of the Okavanga Delta in Botswana. And I'm very happy to share with you today my products and what we do here within Destination Botswana. In essence, Ker&Downey, Botswana is the longest established safari operator in Destination Botswana. The company has its origins prior 1968. Botswana's independence as a country happened in 1966, and at that time, 41% of the country's landmass was declared natural wilderness protection areas. And to establish a tourism industry in Botswana, they dedicated large tracts of land as private concession areas, which were bordering the national parks. And Ker&Downey Botswana was the pioneering company to start operating photographic or non-consumptive tourism operations in Botswana in 1968. Over the years, we've grown our product portfolio, but the one thing that has stuck with us and what we've built our ethos on is built on three real clear pillars. The first one is we have access to some really rare areas, and I'm sure you'll agree, certainly post-COVID, the modern day and the new form of luxury lies in exclusivity, and we are very happy to be operating in some of these really wild, exclusive areas. In doing so, we pride ourselves in offering a very raw experience to people that are coming out to visit these wild places. And because we've been operating for so many years within Destination, we've been able to refine our hospitality offering and comfort levels to match what our product is all about. Our purpose as a company lies in three real clear areas as well. The first one is our investment in people. We are 100% Botswana owned. We are in Destination. We're a Botswana company, and our investment in our people and growing people through our business is certainly cornerstone to what we do. We're part of a larger organization in Botswana called Chobe Holdings. We're one of the subsidiary companies there, but within our group and within the larger holding environment, we have in excess of 1,000 employees in the Destination, servicing the needs of travelers and more specifically luxury travelers to Botswana. We're very involved in conservation projects. We have quite a few of them going on throughout the Destination, and very much so, and the way that we are moving forward is special attention to specifically endangered species and creating environments that they can thrive in. And then thirdly, on the sustainability point of view, we are the first and the only operator in Botswana to be 100% solar powered. We have full water filtration and reticulation plants in our camps. We've got closed circuit sewage treatment plants. There's not a drop of grey water that goes back into environment as a result of our operations. And that's sort of the cornerstone to our purpose. Our sister company is Safari Air. And with that, we have 7 grand caravans and 5 air vans that we utilize to connect the various areas that we operate in to be able to put together a detailed safari itinerary and experience for your travelers. So just to focus on a little bit of geography for you, Botswana is a landlocked country located in the southern part of Africa. Namibia to the west and the north of Botswana, South Africa to the south, Zimbabwe to the east, and right up in the top corner where 4 countries meet, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Namibia, and Zambia, is a little touch on Zambia as a neighbor. But in essence, it sits in the middle of Southern Africa, and it's predominantly Kalahari. Kalahari is it's one of the largest deserts in the world, but it's not desert as in rolling dunes in the Sahara or the Namib Desert, very much vegetated, but dry ecosystem. Within the northern part of that is this amazing phenomenon called the Okavango Delta. And that is what makes Botswana so special. It's the largest inland delta or wetland system in the world, and it's also the 1000th UNESCO World Heritage Site. And because it's a World Heritage Site, it is protected. And this is the magnet for a lot of the wildlife in the northern part of Botswana. We also have in our operations a little boutique hotel that we opened in Maun in August last year on the northern boundary of the Central Kalahari Game Reserve. We have our own private conservancy called Dinaka. Western side of the Okavango Delta is Kanana. Eastern side of the Okavango Delta, Okuti. Central Okavango Delta, Shindi and Shindi Footsteps. And then the new baby to our portfolio sits in that northern pinky of the Okavango Delta, where the Okavango Delta meets the cylinder spillway, and that is called Maksa. Apart from Okuti, all the other properties are in private concession or conservancy areas. So our locations, predominantly private concessions. This means that it has no access to public. And there we have Shindi, Shindi Footsteps, Kanana. Private conservancies, Dinaka and Maksa. Okuti is in the Moremi Game Reserve on the edge of the Okavango Delta. And then Gray's Eden, our new property in Maun, allows for stopover pre-post safari in a luxury boutique hotel environment. Within this portfolio of properties and these areas we have access to, when guests travel with us, there are various ways in which they experience the destination. So we offer a variety of land-based activities, game drives, night drives, walking safaris on water, boat cruises, Mokoro excursions. We have access to the largest heronry in Southern Africa. This is for birders and very, very keen bird watching travelers that come to the destination. Down in the Kalahari, we have the Sand Bushmen. So we offer a bit of an educational walk and interaction with them while they were there. Ker&Downey, Botswana was and is the pioneer in family safaris to the destination. And it's a very big part of the business that we do. So all our rooms also cater for family, all our camps cater for families, and we have family rooms in each. And then, of course, central to traveling out here in Africa and the wildlife experience are photography opportunities. And with that, especially down in the Kalahari, we have a variety of bunkers and photographic hides that we incorporate into the activity regime. Our lodges or our camps are all within these incredible natural wilderness areas, and they've all been purposefully built to blend within the environment that they are in. They are all small, between 4 and 9 rooms per property. And then we have access to incredibly large tracts of natural wilderness where we enjoy. These are all our properties. The vehicles, 100% were rebuilt. They're custom designed by us. We've been operating here for a long time. We know what works for the travelers. Individual seating, padded armrests. Those armrests are adjustable. They can become camera mounts. In the center of the vehicle, we have tote boxes where you can store your camera equipment. There's recharge plugs at each seat where you can charge camera batteries, phone batteries, whatever's there. In summer, the roof goes on the vehicle. In winter, 4 bolts, 2 at the back, 2 at the front, and the roof is removed. Likewise with our boats, all individual seating, very comfortable, tote boxes underneath the seats, cup holders, and all the necessary requirements there for the activities. There's a winter shot. We've taken the roof off. It just allows for a lot more visibility when you're out on the game drive. But let's speak about the guides. I think every African operator that you might interact with is going to tell you they've got the best guides. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to tell you is our minimum level for employment in Ker&Downey. For a guide to start with us, they have to be walking, qualified, registered, licensed guides. The reason for this is we have access to these incredibly wild areas, and we are allowed more flexibility to operate our activities within these areas. So this means if you have the right type of guest with the guide out on safari and they're driving along and they pick up elephant tracks that are going off in a direction, and the guests are keen to do this, you can stop, get out the vehicle, unsheath the rifle, off the game drive, go for a walk, come back to the vehicle, back on the vehicle, carry on with your activity. Flexibility in our activities is core to how we offer our services. So we're going to get straight into what our products are. And we're going to start in the Kalahari. So we have this property called Dinaka, which is south of Maun. Maun is the main gateway to the northern Botswana area, and this is the tourism hub. This is where our offices are, our operations are based here. I'm speaking to you from Maun. To the south of Maun is the Central Kalahari Game Reserve, and on the northern boundary of the Central Kalahari Game Reserve, we have Dinaka. Dinaka is approximately 40,000 hectares, close on 100,000 acres of prime, privately owned wilderness reserve. So we own it. There's no access to Dinaka for public, and to access Dinaka is a mere 25-minute flight out of Maun south into the Kalahari. The key thing about this, if you compare Dinaka to any of the other sort of arid areas in Botswana, is we can reach Dinaka and travel from Dinaka straight into the Okavango Delta without having to go back through Maun. So it's really well situated in terms of putting together the northern circuit of Botswana. There's this incredibly large area. So it's slightly smaller than the Sabi Sand in South Africa, but it just has one property and it's exclusive to a maximum of 20 guests. Really large area. What makes it unique is the experience and how different it is and how well it combines with what is happening in the northern part of the country. So unique species like oryx, eland, red hartebeest, cheetah, springbuck, that you would not normally find in the Okavango Delta and the northern part of the country, you can combine with the Dinaka experience. Plus, it also has the common species that you would find in the northern parts of the country as well. But unique to it is the lion population. And this particular area, specifically the Kalahari, is famous for these very large black-maned lions that live within this area. It's really beautiful. In the summer months, from December through to April, May, with the advent of our rainy season, the Kalahari transforms into this beautiful green and flowery, full of butterflies, an incredible wildlife destination. And I can certainly recommend you combine it with the northern circuit of Botswana. At Dinaka, it's a year-round destination, so most of the game viewing revolves around water. So we have 12 pumped water holes on the conservancy, and at some of these we've built photographic hides. This is our most recent one, done in the shape of the Sand Bushman hut, and it just allows for guests, as part of their game drive, they stop, climb off, sit there, observe the animals and the bird life coming down to the water hole to drink. Really great for photography, and it just allows for a very different element to the activities. We also have these sunken bunkers that look out over the water holes, and the unique element of these photographic bunkers, because they are sunken, is you are at eye level to the animals as they come down to drink. And from that, the photography opportunities are absolutely wonderful. So Dinaka offers a very, very diverse wilderness experience to what we have in the northern parts of the country. What we don't advertise, and you won't see it in any of our marketing materials, is part of our conservation efforts at Dinaka is we have a very healthy population of rhinoceros at Dinaka. And combining this rhino experience, these animals are, as I mentioned earlier on, with our conservation programs, they're obviously protected and they're constantly monitored. But for guest experience, we allow interaction with the monitoring team. And if the guests are right and they want to do it, the nice thing about Dinaka is you can stop, get out the vehicle, approach on foot, a safe distance downwind, observe, and quietly retract, climb back on the vehicle, carry on with your game drive experience. So the rhino experience at Dinaka makes it really special. This is the sundowner deck. What you're seeing in this image from the one corner to the other, horizon to horizon, is Dinaka. It's a massive tract of wilderness that is exclusive to the guests when staying at Dinaka. We also have a sleep out deck at Dinaka, so guests can book this and they can go out and spend the night underneath the stars. I have to mention to you that the Kalahari has possibly some of the most amazing night light on the planet in terms of the air clarity, and there is no real unnatural light there. So the stars and the skies are diamond studded, and you can book a sleep out underneath the stars at Dinaka whilst staying there as well. Of our staff members at Dinaka are San or Bushmen, and part of the activity is a bit of a sort of cultural interaction that we do with the guests here as well. And these are just incredible people. They've lived in the Kalahari for thousands of years, and they really share and interact well their traditions, the hunter-gatherer lifestyle. But as I mentioned to you, they are employees of the company. They are not there in their clad skins. They are dressed in uniforms, and they offer a very, very informative, interactive, educational experience for guests when they are there. This picture, this is Dinaka as the camp. It has one family room and 7 standard rooms. Looks out over a waterhole, 100% solar powered, with water sanitation and reticulation filtration systems to make sure that guests are comfortable and the stay there is wonderful. All our camps are built to fit in with the environment. As I mentioned to you early on, none of them are the same, and Dinaka does this really well. So the standard rooms are all tented. As I mentioned, we have 1 family room and 7 standard rooms. All of them, this is the family room, has 2 bedrooms to the room, and all of them have ensuite bathrooms, indoor-outdoor showers, all the necessary comforts and amenities are there. We now travel up to, I just want to take a sip of water quickly, sorry. We now travel up to the Okavanga Delta area. And what's unique about the Okavanga Delta this year is we have had a phenomenal flood. The red line on this graph kind of indicates what the flood has done this year. The Okavanga Delta in itself is a very, very unique system. If you take a look at this map, north of Botswana, you have the Caprivi strip of Namibia, and on the other side of that, 1,600 kilometers north of the Okavanga Delta in the, excuse me, in the eastern highlands of Angola is this escarpment, which is just south of the equator, and that's the catchment area for the Kavango River. So the water, the rainfall starts up there. It's tropical rainfall because it's equatorial. It's raining in about October of every year, and that water travels down 1,600 kilometers through the fertile lowlands of Angola. It crosses the Caprivi strip of Namibia. When it arrives at the Kalahari Desert, it has no more river course, and it spreads out and it forms the largest delta or wetland system in the world. As it comes into Botswana through the Panhandle, there's one big island in the middle of the Okavanga Delta called Chief's Island, and that's where the water kind of splits. So the majority of the water travels down the eastern side to the right-hand side of Chief's Island as we are looking at it here. And it's within a river system, the main river system called the Monachira River, that travels all the way down until it arrives within the Kakanika Lagoon area. Kakanika is the largest lagoon system in the Okavanga Delta. On its journey from the northeastern highlands of Angola, as it travels down, it picks up a lot of minerals through those fertile lowlands. That comes down with the Monachira River system. And when it goes into the Kakanika Lagoon, which is a permanent lagoon year-round in the Okavanga Delta system, those minerals go into suspension and they drop. So this particular area, the Kakanika area of the Okavanga Delta, has over 250 million years been a core place where these mineral deposits from the Kavango River system have been deposited on the mainland. And as a result of that, this area is incredibly ecologically diverse. Wide open floodplains, palm tree islands, a variety of vegetation. What you're seeing here are mupani trees. Anywhere else in Africa, a mupani tree is 1.5 to 2 meters tall. In the Kakanika area, we call them cathedral mupanis. These trees grow in forests over 35, 40 meters tall. There's a rich diversity in grass species. There's a rich diversity in browsing. This attracts all the herbivores, and subsequent to the herbivores and pursuant to them is a really rich predator population as well. It's a beautiful area. It's a natural wilderness. And here we have Okuti. Okuti is a small camp. It has 2 family rooms, 5 standard rooms. It looks out over the Okavanga Delta to the front of the camp, and to the back of the camp, we have mainland Moremi. So there's a mix of activities when you are at Okuti. Game drives, boating activities, as well as we have introduced this year the new Okuti barge. We use this barge in two different ways. The one is early morning, they'll go out on a game drive in the Moremi Game Reserve. They'll return to the camp round about brunch time, get off the vehicle, climb onto the barge. The downstairs we set up with a dining area. We have a chef on board, live cooking system, live cooking area on board, waiters, waitresses, the whole works. And we serve brunch whilst cruising into the Okavanga Delta. The alternative to that is the evening boat cruises. The top of the barge is set up like a lounge. And the reason we've gone with this double decker is you can see out and you can see further, and at the same time enjoy what makes Africa famous, the sundowner. Another activity offered at Okuti are Mokoro trips within this area. Okuti is quite unique. It was completely refurbished last year in 2024. We used 22 artisans from Maun that came in to do all the woodwork, to do all the flooring, to do all the shelving, and very much local artists involved in the build, the look, and the feel for Okuti. So all the artwork on the walls, the baskets, the weaving in the roofs, the thatching is all done by local artisans using local materials to build Okuti. And you can sit there on the deck of your room and you're right out looking out over the Okavanga Delta. Really, really beautiful place. From Okuti, we move way north where that you can see the panhandle where the river crosses from Namibia into before it spreads out and forms the Okavanga Delta. There's a little pinky that sits on the top there that links up with the cylinder spillway. And it's there at the edge of the Okavanga Delta where the cylinder spillway meets that northern pinky. We have Maksa. This is a 22,000 hectare private concession area in an extremely beautiful part of the Okavanga Delta. It's a brand new camp. We opened it on the 20th of March this year. It has 1 family room and 4 standard rooms with a mix of included activities. What you're seeing here in this picture in the foreground on the edge of the permanent Maksa Lagoon is the camp. And to the back of the camp, as far as what the horizon is there, is the private concession area that Maksa is in. What's unique about this particular area, this northern area of the Okavanga Delta, is there's no papyrus. So we have about 25 kilometers of navigable Mokoro channels with clear water. You can see right through to the bottom. The reason the water is clear because there is no papyrus, but it's low grass. And even from the Mokoro, your view out over the floodplains is quite spectacular. This photograph was taken a month ago, and this is the big flood, the Okavanga Delta flood coming in. But this is home to the northern migration of zebra. So we have big population of zebra here, big population of elephant. Of course, all the predators are there as well. There's a whole lot of other wildlife, but it is quite a unique, very special and very private area for guests that are there. And the camp itself, as I mentioned to you, is small, only has 5 rooms, 1 family room, 4 standard rooms, and is quite exclusive for guests that are there. The whole ethos at Maksa is one of those where you actually just want to kick your shoes off and get your feet in the sand. This is a great place for people just to relax and enjoy sort of the African experience when they are out here. It's done with class, indoor-outdoor cooking. We've got a outdoor, like a pizza oven that they do the night, the evening roasts are done there. The lunches are prepared there. Indoor-outdoor dining area, and just this wonderful little camp that is small, that's exclusive, and it's brand new. And the feedback from guests that have been there is they absolutely love it. It is so special and really, really sort of exclusive to what it offers in that particular area. So this is Maksa. Very homely, very, very sort of spiritual camp. It's really beautiful. We now go across to the western side of the Okavango Delta to a private concession area there called Kanana. Kanana has just gone through a complete and total rebuild. This area also very unique. So what you're seeing on this particular map is Chiefs Island, as I mentioned to you, is the main largest island in the Okavango Delta, and that's where the water splits to form this big hand, this big wetland. The main water flows to the right-hand side of Chiefs Island down the Monachira River. And this area here, where it says Masarwa on the map, all the way into the northern Kanana concession area, is an area called Core Flats. And it's the most shallow part of the Okavango Delta. Like with the Monachira River system running into the Kakanika Lagoon, you've got this mineral dump, this mineral deposit that's happened over millions of years in the Core Flats, and that runs right into the northern part of the Kanana concession area. And as a result, it makes this area incredibly diverse. So you've got these big forests, jackalberry forests, marula forests, wide open floodplains. It is incredibly game rich. The annual flood arrives in this area around about late May, early June, and it'll stay there until October. And with that, it's just a magnet for wildlife. So here's a herd of buffalo crossing. This photo was taken in March this year. As you can see, very rich, very diverse in plant species. Absolutely everything that is here, these animals, they all look groomed. And that's got to do with this rich mineral content that is as a result of the mineral deposits through the Core Flats. But a great diversity of wildlife, and it's exclusive. Once again, it's one of those areas that are not available to the public. So only guests at Kanana get to experience this incredible ecosystem. Night drives, game drives, walks. When the water is up, mokoros and boating can be offered from Kanana as well. But really unique area, incredible wilderness area, fantastic wildlife. And it just makes for a incredible safari experience that is exclusive to guests when they are traveling to this destination. The camp itself, as I mentioned to you early on, has access to the Kanana heronry. This is the largest heronry in southern Africa. At the moment, the birds have just started arriving, so they're getting in there about July. They've started nesting. They will be on the nests until sort of late October, early November, and then move off. But at its peak in September, there are about 60 to 70,000 breeding birds in this heronry, and it's accessed by mokoro or by boat, and even people who are not bird crazy will be fanatics by the time they are done here, because there's a fantastic array and variety of species that are there. The camp has just been rebuilt, 100% totally rebuilt, and we opened in April this year. That's the main lodge building. It looks straight out over this incredible floodplain that is full of wildlife. And the rooms themselves look out over that floodplain as well. So completely rebuilt, brand new furnished. It's an incredible area and very, very, very productive in terms of an incredible variety and numbers of wildlife in the Kanana concession area. Beautiful location. The rooms themselves also stunning, big spacious suites, all of them en suite with these great views out over the floodplain to the front of the camp. Even when you're in the shower, you can look out there and there's lechwe and impala or maybe even a lion walking past your room while you are having your shower. That is Kanana. We also have a sleep out deck experience at Kanana that can be booked as well as part of your stay there. We then go into the central Okavango Delta. And once again, Shindi as a concession area. In 1968, when the Botswana government issued these concession areas, the first company to be granted a private concession area to operate this non-consumptive tourism model in the destination was Ker&Downey, and the concession area was Shindi. So we've had Shindi for over 50 years, and it's just absolutely beautiful. The unique thing about Shindi is it has permanent water. So this is one of those camps that you can include year-round, so that access to the Okavango Delta water-based activities are guaranteed. And these are boating, mokoros. Also from Shindi, we do walks, we do game drives, we do night drives. To the front of the concession area, closer to the permanent water, you find your more aquatic adapted species. To the back of the concession area, in the drier areas, you find your more sort of dry land species that are there. And very rich in and very productive in wildlife. And with that, you have this incredible predator population that's there as well. The camp, like all our others, very unique. None of them are the same. Purposefully built, it fits beautifully into the little Shindi Island and looks out over the Okavango Delta. Shindi is very classic, and we've tried to keep it that way because it is the oldest camp. It carries the longest tradition of safari camp with us, although it has been rebuilt and it's constantly being refurbished. We still maintain that old, authentic safari style to what Shindi offers. 1 family room, 7 standard rooms at Shindi. Indoor, outdoor showers, beautiful views from the rooms, and just this incredible area to go and explore. To the back end of the Shindi concession area, we have Shindi Footsteps. And this is quite a unique little camp, very similar to Maksa. It only has 4 rooms. So 1 family room, 3 standard rooms, and very grounded in the experience. Like Maksa, it's one of those, when you get there, you just want to kick your shoes off and make yourself at home. Very small, very intimate camp. Incredible wildlife area. The unique thing about the Shindi Footsteps area is it has these large open floodplains with low grass. Still very fertile, but low grass. And this is really good and really conducive for walking safaris. So a good combination of activities are available when staying at Shindi as well. Game drives, night drives, boat, mokoro, and walks. We also offer from our Okavango Delta camps a helicopter experience. A lot of people book this as a sort of sundowner, either early morning or late afternoon, to make use of the better light for photography. But observing the Okavango Delta from a helicopter, doors off, is something really, really special. And I would certainly recommend it to anybody that's there. Shindi Footsteps itself is a camp, very small, very intimate. What you're seeing there in the background is the dining room. And that's the dining table. It can't take any more guests. It's very, very, very unique in terms of what it offers. It has all the luxuries and the comforts of any of the other Ker&Downey properties, but it's a lot more grounded and a lot more sort of authentic and small and exclusive in its offering. Then in Maun, in August last year, we opened the first boutique hotel in Botswana, and it's located on the banks of the Tamalakani River in Maun. This property we use for guests that have a pre or post safari night where they're wanting just to unwind, get over the travel fatigue, and prepare themselves either prior or after safari before they get home. It's quite unique. It has 5 villas. To the left is a villa, 7 cottages. They to the right of the swimming pool, big swimming pool. It has a double studio spa. That wooden door that you see on the left bottom of the picture is a wine cellar. And it just offers something very totally unique to Botswana and the Maun experience in that it is a small, exclusive boutique hotel on the banks of the Tamalakani River, 10 minutes from Maun Airport. Brand new, has all the luxuries that anybody would like to need or require when they are traveling there. I think a little bit of Santorini meets French Hook in terms of its style, but a beautiful property in Gray's Eden in Maun, offering something alternative and something a bit more on the luxury spectrum than what is here. To the right of this fireside boma, this white building here, is the spa. Really beautiful spa. We have 2 therapists there. This is the interior of one of the villas. The villas are all obviously ensuite, air-conditioned, free Wi-Fi, have a lovely little veranda, a great place to relax and enjoy, unwind after travel, full bathroom, walk-in shower, and then the cottages are more standard room in their offering. Right, folks, I think that's it from me. And I will open up the floor if there are any questions or if there's any information that you need from me. I'm happy to answer.
Several notes. Age of the, you said that the family are very welcomed in the properties. So still, there are some properties we know in Africa that requires minimum age of stay. Do you have any age of stay in your properties? What are the ages in the properties so I can notify that?
Yeah. With Ker&Downey, Botswana, our minimum age is 6 years old.
6 years old.
These properties are very remote and they are in incredible wilderness areas. So we also, with what we do as a company, specifically for families and those who want to give their children a really immersive African safari experience, we have a program called Young Explorers. And Young Explorers is based on a combination of any of the camps, but they travel with one of our specialist guides who's specifically family orientated. And the whole idea is to have continuous leadership throughout their Botswana safari experience where the guide is with them. So there's not repetitive information that comes across there. He also gets to know and understand the children. In the afternoon, when the parents want to go and rest, children are energetic. The guide will take them. They'll go and make bows and arrows. They'll go and track wildlife species around the camp. Get the rest of the camp staff involved. They'll play soccer with them, out the back of the camp and just interact. They can get them into the kitchen with the chefs, bake cookies. They teach them how to basket weave. So there's a whole lot of these activities that are included in the Young Explorer program as well to make the whole safari experience interactive for families.
So 2-3 camps, like 3 for 9 nights.
The whole idea and what we try and bring across to our trade partners is what's unique about what we do is we have access to very different ecosystems.
Yeah.
And there's a different wildlife experience and there's a whole different sort of ecosystem experience in each of these. And combining the Kalahari with the Western Delta, with the Northern Delta, or with the Eastern, is what you put together for your clients, because that's what they're going to ultimately take away with them. We are very lucky to have some of the most incredible areas in destination Botswana that we're operating in.
Oh, yes, you have lovely areas. Yeah.
Yeah,
we can
really
see
beautiful
even on
area.
the pictures you showed us today, it was
Yeah,
like, wow, it's like a
yeah,
paradise. And I
yeah.
think it's a last question for today. Uh, you mentioned earlier, for example, that Shindi is good property all year around. And because of the delta is changing the flood level, is there any limits when the property does not operate, like because sometimes, or there are too much water, or there is no water and it's not operating? There is no such a period, right? For any of the properties.
Shindi has permanent water.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of the Monachira River system runs right through the Shindi concession area.
Mm-hmm.
It carries permanent water 365 days a year. What we did experience this year
Mm-hmm.
on the Shindi concession area, because our local rainfall was higher than average, and the catchment area rainfall way up in Angola was higher than average. So what happened in June this year, the delta swelled up higher than average for us. And it did give us some logistical issues in terms of not being able to reach the far back end of the concession area
Mm-hmm.
because of too much water, vehicles getting stuck, that type of thing. But you adapt, the wildlife doesn't go away. Everything is still there. You just adapt the way that you operate the activities, and you make it more interactive for guests. So you can include a drive with a walk, with a mokoro, with some boat in an activity, and they'll get to see and experience the whole natural phenomenon of the Okavango Delta flood. Kanana is different. Kanana, it was completely dry. The water's now moved in. In fact, last week we started boating at Kanana. But it'll dry up again. So from December, February, March, you won't be able to boat there. You might be able to do short mokoros, but won't be able to boat because that area is flat, the core flats, the water levels are not deep. Not deep. The Shindi with the Monachira River system has more deeper channels and deeper lagoons. Very different ecosystems. Like
Yes, it's lovely, and it's really nice because I think Botswana still has this kind of a image of very exclusive destination, and I think Chobe is the more accessible because of the location. And I see that there is no Ker&Downey's properties in Chobe. Are you planning any, or you don't want to touch that area at
No.
all?
So what Ker&Downey has done, and our most public area is Okuti. So Okuti is located in the Kakanika area of Maremi Game Reserve. Neighbors to Okuti is Camp Maremi and Camp Kakanika, which is Desert and Delta Safaris, our sister company. All three of those camps have the same rate. But as Ker&Downey, we offer a more flexible activity experience for guests that are there. So it's all about the ethos of the company. We try and keep those traditions in what we are doing. I don't think Chobe, we will sell into Chobe Game Lodge or into that type of thing, but I don't think it'll be an area that we as Ker&Downey specifically would want to operate in because it doesn't fit within what our product ethos is. That rare areas offering a very raw, true wilderness experience for a select few with refined hospitality that's our ethos. That's what we build our product identification on.
Yeah, of course, it goes a little bit far from your identity. I agree.
But we are expanding into Zambia. So we have actually opened our first property in Zambia this year in Lua Plain. And we have big intentions to grow a very similar circuit to what we are doing in Botswana in Zambia as well.
Super.
So yeah, we are
So
very, very, very
next year we
actively
will do another training with you. Maybe we will talk about the
with
Zambian
Ker&Downey
properties.
Zambia, yes. Yeah.
Super. To summarize this, I would be happy if you will send me some materials, like marketing materials with the lovely pictures you have, so we can also put them on our social media. perhaps you have like a combo programs like for your properties, like for example, like you say, 9 nights, some nights here, some nights there, so we can make a nice tour based on Ker&Downey properties. So you will be like already like a full program, nice programs. Much appreciated. So we can also share that among our agents, and we will keep this record of today, and we will share it with the agents, so they will have it access to it to learn more at any time. And
Yeah.
I'm very grateful to you for your
You're
time that you explained well, and you inspired, of course, for Botswana. We only this year we added Botswana on our profile, but we will start to more and more make it popular, because it's still very low understanding about Botswana in Ukraine. So we need to get to work together for this awareness first, and then of course to that demand will come more.
Yeah. Nadia, yeah, 100%. And then myself and Boy, we are always around. So you are welcome to engage. And if there's anything you need, even if with you or with any of your agents, you are planning something for a client, you're welcome to bring us in. We will represent, and we will assist you in making sure that you do it really, really well, and you do it and you do it properly. And what's important here is, because our camps are small, we've got these exclusive areas. It's got to fit. You've got to do it so that it matches your customer.
Super.
I don't think package touring is the way to do it. It's very much understanding the needs of the customer, and then designing the right type of trip, right type of the year, what's happening, what are the interests, and then we can mix and match, and we can assist in doing it. So
be sure that travel designer clients usually like that, the one for whom we customize a lot, even if, for example, they are taking some like obvious locations, we still try to maximize it at the maximum. And what I like about Ker&Downey's properties and your service, that you also put a lot of customization into the product, so that's what we really close in our approach.
Yeah, and we carry it through in the guest experience.
Yeah.
So you need to know what we are doing on the ground, as well as very much reading the clients, understanding what they're wanting to do, adapting the activities, the whole experience, so that they leave going, it's the best destination in the world. And that's kind of a big approach for us in terms of what we are trying to deliver there.
Super. Thank you, Walter.
You're welcome to contact, as I said to you, I'm in Maun. I've been here for 35 years. I've grown into this industry. We are very hands-on with the daily happenings in each and every single one of our camps. We are very passionate about our destination, very passionate about our product and the way that we deliver it, and certainly the way that we take it to market. So yeah, we appreciate the relationships we have in the marketplace with our agents.
Super. So let me switch off back to Ukrainian just to say bye-bye.
Okay.
Шановні колеги, дякую вам за увагу. Я сподіваюся, що ця презентація сервісів та закладів розміщення від компанії Ker&Downey була для вас класною. І я сподіваюся, що ви так само, як і я, надихнулися напрямком Ботсвана, тому що це дійсно унікальна локація, де ви отримаєте зовсім різні ландшафти, зовсім різні екосистеми, і це дуже-дуже крута локація, яку ще багато українців не відкрили для себе. Тому пишіть нам, ми з радістю допоможемо вам організувати вашу унікальну мандрівку Африкою, зокрема Ботсваною. Звертайтесь, ми будемо раді співпраці з нашими агентами, допомозі з організацією і реалізацією подорожі для наших туристів. Тому залишайтесь на зв'язку. До нових зустрічей!